Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Big Apple Hockey's Marc's recaps. Sadly, I'm not drunk today. It is 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. So it's well, we're still gonna have a good time talking about this and having a little bit of fun. I, of course, am the aforementioned Mark Williams, and let's get to my game 7 notes or game 6 notes going into game 7. And I tried to take down as many as I could. I was working last night, but it's amazing how just my brain works. I just can absorb some things. So the headline of the night, of course, the New York Rangers force Game 7, 5-2 win at Madison Square Garden. Artemi Panarin, huge. And, well, not really huge, but Filipino was huge. And the 2 goals that he scored, mwah, excellent job by him. He's starting to grow. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he'll continue to grow going into next season. Barclay Goodrow returned and earned a star of the game, and yes, he was that noticeable, especially on the penalty kill. Carolina had a couple of big power plays that they did not cash in on because Barclay Goodrow and Tyler Mott was on the ice. More on that in a minute. But let's actually go right back to Tyler Mott. Tyler Mott, after Sebastian Aho gets in on, we'll say it's a partial breakaway. Igor Shesterkin stones him. Seconds later, Mock goes back up the ice, throws the puck at the net, and it's a seeing eye puck that gets through Antti Ranta. There are some times, like game 4, I referred to Antti Ranta playing like a backup. Last night, he played like a backup. And that was not a good goal to give up. So, Rangers then get a power play of their own. And then I think there's a little bit of a breakdown at the blue line between the defense. But Mika Zibanejad just walks right in and then puts it 5-hole again on Antti Ranta. You don't have to completely kill him on that one either, but that's not a good goal. Those were 2 not very good goals. And at that point, the Rangers were off and running. By the way, that was Mika's 4th consecutive game with a goal. That is huge. Hopefully he can carry it over to game 7 because he's going to need to. But as I mentioned before, Goudreau, Igor, Mott, all excellent on the penalty killing. And even Andrew Kopp was great when his unit was out there. And the Rangers really stifled any momentum Carolina can get in that first period. And Carolina was trying, but the Rangers were just bottling them up. In the first period, I thought the Panarin line had their best period of the series. I say it's the best line, it's the best game for the Panarin line because really anything from them was proof that it was the best game. They have been shut down completely in this series. And credit the Carolina Hurricanes on that. I keep saying these phrases. The other guys get paid too, and they're not just going to let you go do it. So they played well, generating chances in the first period. And then, of course, Panarin scores, and more on that in a moment. Filipino, his best game of the series as well. He chased Antti Ranta with just an absolute roof of a shot. And then kind of surprised Kolchekov with a rising backhander. I don't think Kolchekov thought he was gonna take the shot from there, but he did. I mean, nobody really takes a backhander from that far out unless you're Pavel Datsyuk. So, and it worked. That's how sometimes you just got to surprise a goalie like that. And Hedl even had a chance for the hat trick. He had like a partial break about a couple minutes later, but it wasn't meant to be for him. However, up 3-0, Brady Shea throws a puck at the net, gets Carolina on the board. And then up 4-1, Vinny Trocheck is able to kind of jab home a rebound. It went off of Ryan Lindgren's shin pad and then through Igor's 5-hole. But the Canes were coming in that period. And you kind of got the sense that there was a little bit of an anxiety in the building. And the Rangers were able to survive the final, we'll say it was about 8 minutes of that first period. As I said, second period, I mean. And the second period, it's just the Canes just kept coming in waves and waves and waves. Credit to Igor Shesterkin. I mean, there's only one way to describe it. That was Lundqvist-esque of the way that he was able to keep the Rangers and keep the Hurricanes at bay. So that had to keep going. Panarin, 5-on-3 after Chris Kreider got high-sticked in the face, a little bit of blood, and I think there was a little bit of a pause that let Chris Kreider go to the bench and kind of get taken care of. But the Rangers, the 5-on-3 looked okay. It didn't look great. And their power plays looked much better at other times when they didn't score in this series. But Panarin just gets it on a broken play, throws it at the net, and then there you go, 5-2. So the Rangers then and the Hurricanes, because they had to do this, they had to start skirmishes, and fight night started with nearly about 10 minutes remaining. And there was a lot of shit talk that was going on, especially at the end of the game. I thought Ryan Reeves was going to absolutely rip somebody's head off. So the linesmen kept it under control. That is what their jobs are there to do. They're there to keep the peace and don't let fights go longer than they need to, because that is what they're supposed to do. But there are some notes to mention going into Game 7 before I get to your comments. And also to check out, let's see if I got it right here. I got a poll up for you guys. Who's going to need to step up the most? Go ahead, throw it down right over here. Igor Shesterkin right now, 70%. And Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad. And also, don't feel free to put some in the comments. We're about to get to the comments in a moment. But, so again, the Rangers, this is a couple things that you need to note. The last time the Rangers went into Game 7 without a road win was 2013 against the Washington Capitals, and they never won a Game 7 before on the road. They did that night. And if you remember that game, I think Henrik Lundqvist had a huge save on Mike Green, and Green enjoyed a hell of a season and even had the Game 2 overtime winner. And I think he also had another save on Alex Ovechkin in that sequence. Chris Kreider goes back the other way, drop pass to Aaron Asham. Aaron Asham slaps it past Braden Holtby, and the Rangers were on in the rout. There were some seeing eye pucks like Michael Del Zotto scoring off a skate. And then, of course, in the 5-0 goal was Matt Zuccarello completely undressing Braden Holtby. But to say that it's impossible for the Rangers to come back from this is not true. The Rangers very easily can come back and win in a stadium where they probably should have won Game 1. They were only lost Game 2 by 1-0. I know it felt like it was more, but the key number was 1-0. And Game 5 was a better game than what it led on, but then the Hurricanes really locked it down. Over to the Hurricanes, though. No team has ever advanced the conference finals without a road win. That is what Carolina is going to try to accomplish. And it's not going to be a tall task. It's not going to be an easy task. There we go. Tall task would be, it's going to be a tall task. I should have used that one. Anyway, can't really revise all my statements while I'm live on air. So again, this entire series is boiling down to Monday nights. I have a friend of mine that's going to the game. I wish I could get off and fly down to Carolina. Unfortunately, I'm working tonight. I'm working tomorrow night. Come on down, Boss Croakers, if you feel like seeing me tomorrow night. But it is Monday night, 8 o'clock, PNC Arena. And the New York Rangers have won every game they've had facing elimination. The Carolina Hurricanes have won their only game facing elimination. So it's going to be a good fight. And you're going to get guys that are going to step up in a Game 7 almost seemingly out of nowhere, because the guys you expect are usually not the guys that are going to do it. I know the poll question is saying otherwise, since I named basically all the Rangers stars except for Chris Kreider in the poll question. But so let's start getting down to your thoughts on Game 6 and this series continuing to go on. Let's get to the comments. Whew. Great things happen when the Rangers shoot the puck. Damn right, Frank T. If the Rangers win Game 7 tomorrow, people will be happy. But if they lose, there's still going to be Donnell, this has been a very good season for the Rangers. If they lost to Pittsburgh in Game 5 of the first round, and the same way that they lost in Games 3 and 4, I think there's a completely different attitude. You're now starting to see the growth of this team, and you're seeing what they need to be. I think what you get fans like me that are kind of going, I'm excited. I'm fearful of them taking too far of a step back next season because of the cap crunch that's coming. Now, Chris Drury can move contracts around and fill holes elsewhere, but there's just a lot of money they got on the books, and that Jacob Trouba contract is really not looking like a good one, especially at $8 million, especially at the role that he plays, and especially about how effective he is at that role. I like Jacob Trouba, but that contract, yikes. They could have got him at $6 million. That already means Andrew Copp. That definitely is a New York Ranger next year. But who knows? Get a checking line center, move Filipino up to the second line. Things can always be different. Ronta's weaknesses is shots up high and screenshots. Yeah, but also that's kind of like every goalie, but I know what you mean by that. Kind of like the Jocelyn Thibault thing. Shoot high, shoot high. All right. We need to score in Game 7 no matter how great Igor is. That is 100% right because, after all, everybody knows Igor is going to be good. He's been great this entire series. His save percentage starting this series for the playoffs was 911. And by the way, he was at 905, 906 through most of the Pittsburgh series, and he went all the way up to 911. Okay. Everybody knows what I mean. But he started last night, I believe it was 923 or 924. That's ridiculous. He's stopping everything that's coming his way. And the fact that Carolina's got one game where they got 3 goals on him says something. Igor is just there. Threw Ronta's legs. Rangers must be hungry and play the same game on Monday. Fox has to stop dancing with the rubber. That is 100% right. Although Fox walks the line better than anyone. However, I do have to say this. I've been making this comparison to the 1990s New York Rangers. When you wanted to take the Rangers out of the series, they always keyed on one guy, Brian Leetch. And if you took Brian Leetch out of the series, Rangers didn't get any offense from the back end, and they were just crumble. It happened twice against the Flyers, even though Brian Leetch had his only career hat trick in Game 2 in 1995. And also, it happened against the Pittsburgh Penguins in 95. When you make the focal point taking away a guy like Adam Fox, it's just going to happen. Hopefully, Foxy wakes up. Kid line was great. Mika, again, D was solid. Hopeful Kreider is done with his Houdini act. Now, I understand what you mean, B-Rye, but the one thing I always have to defend Chris Kreider on is a primary part of his offense is rebounds, deflections, and screening the goaltender. You don't get any shots for screening the goaltender. If there's no rebounds, you can't get you got to find it. You got to get the shot on that. And if they're blocking the shots, you can't deflect them. That being said, you got to impose your will sometimes. You just have to. It's just there. Andrew Copp and Kreider are due for a breakout game. God, I hope you're right on that. You know what I could really use? I could really use another 5-0 win like I outlined from 2013. That really takes the nerves away. All right. Craig, how we doing? And I think this might be the first time I've seen you on, so welcome to the show. Igor has already stepped up and stayed that way. Panarin needs to recreate his magic from the regular season. That is correct. And they're taking away the wall from Panarin. They've been bottling him up. So if they're making you, if everybody's zigging, you should zag. That's really not the metaphor I should use. But If they're taking away what you do something different. Paul, how you doing today? No, come on. Why does it keep sliding down on me? I didn't know Panarin was still on the team until he scored last night. Yeah, because they're taking away Panarin. You know who could really help you on that? Maybe Ryan Strome should try to earn some money. Freaking Ryan Strome. I make no secret about it. I really don't. I try to. I try to be an impartial pundit, but no, I have never been a Ryan Strome fan. I told you, Ranger fans, that we were going to win, and I think we're going to get our first road game of the second round. Road win, yes. The feeling in Madison Square Garden was so electric last night. Yes. And you know what? They just need to carry that over. Just carry over that energy. And I'll tell you what, Mikey BX, a big difference. Barclay Goodrow might antagonize and just wreck through everybody. I was a little surprised Kevin Rooney was the scratch and not Ryan Reeves. Don't be surprised if Kevin Rooney's in and Goodrow moves to the wing. And that's a hell of a fourth line. Mott, Rooney, and Goudreau. And by the way, you can leave Ryan Reeves in. That'll be fine too. Ryan Reeves will definitely do whatever he can. Igor always steps up. The Rangers have to prevent the Canes from controlling the game. Hit, check, block. If they are hungry, they will win. If you're not hungry, then in a game 7, you should go home. I talked about the Islanders game 7 versus the Washington Capitals. I talk about it a lot because that was back in 2015 because it still drives me crazy. They had 11 shots in a game 7. The Rangers had 14 in the first period of the next game versus the Capitals. And the other part to mention with that was there are soccer teams that get 11 shots in a game. That's pathetic. And the Rangers only had 17 in game 5. So what the Rangers have to do, generate shots, get to the middle, no matter how hard it is. And if they're giving you the outside, start playing with it a little bit more to work back into the middle. So, and even get it up top, get it down. Saw a lot of that last night. Guys were feeding Jacob Trouba, and he was just firing that puck on that the entire time. Nobody was there in the slots, but that's a different story. Game 7 is when Kakko comes to life. God, that kid really needs a goal. He really needs a goal. No matter what, we're proud of this team. The kid line is an inspiration. Yes. I would love it if Sammy comes back. It might be unfair to him to play game 7. Maybe the next round. Maybe if he's got some practice time, that'll be good. If they lose game 7 and play a complete game, I'll be okay with it. I just don't want another to put forth a stinker. Yes. If Sammy comes back, the fourth line, that would be excellent. Geez, that fourth line, if you made it with all those guys. Oh. Hold on. We got to take some time out for the sex bots. All right. So, one more thing. I'm so proud to be a Ranger fan myself, and I will repeat myself. We will win 2-1. Trouba to me gets overpaid. Well, part of the problem, Juan, 100% right. Jacob Trouba was overpaid. He was overpaid about a month within his contract because he was brought in to be a number of defenseman, a power play quarterback, everything. Within a month, they went to Tony DeAngelo. A couple weeks later, they went to Adam Fox. Then they went back to Tony DeAngelo. So already he wasn't a power play and one quarterback. That already should knock down at least $2 million off your salary. He's not a number one matchup defenseman, and there's still stuff that he brings. He still brings some leadership. He still brings some life. It's just, you know what, you're right. But you're right about this. $8 million, that's a lot of money. And it's going to cost the Rangers a good player. But that's why they got other things in the system. Frank T, Strome is a goner. You are right, because he is definitely not coming back. Cardiac Kids would take it. Cardiac Kids, take it all, watch the magic, and behold, there we go. Sometimes it takes me 2 takes. Anyway, Mikey BX, Igor is a monster. He is at no fault. Oh, no. Well, no, he never is. If the Rangers don't advance, he made a glove save from his belly. I never even mentioned that in the notes, and I should have. That glove save he made, he just kind of reached up and went, "Thank you." That was it. And I will say this in a second. I thought the Garden was going to fall down when he made that save. It was that great of a save. Hi, welcome to the show. Great to see you guys. The bread man ought to just rip a slap shot. No, he ought to rip that wrist shot. When he looks at the net with that puck for a wrist shot, and he lets it. By the time he lets it go, it's already over. Just ask Game 3, Louis Domingue on that one. Craig, once again, good point on Strome. Would much rather have his brother in the mix. Yeah, Dylan's a little bit better on that one and cheaper. 100% Goody. He just has the presence out there. Yes, he does. Big Apple Hockey has made it. They have Russian porn spam on the stream. Hello to the czar right there. You're doing a great job, Igor. And yeah, the bots. I know they're all bots, but it's just, I try to put in the other stuff, but and by the way, some of these headlines, geez, just simply put, the Rangers need to frustrate the Canes and to penalties and then convert. Yes, but the Canes are logically much better at home, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for them to be statistically bad on the road and then statistically great at home. And whoever wins this series will have home ice versus Tampa Bay. That is huge. Huge for the Rangers, huge versus Tampa Bay. And of course, Tampa Bay sitting there waiting, going, oh, well. Oh, by the way, before we get too far, I completely forgot about this for a second. And I don't know how I spent over an hour putting this together to forget about this. But is this the way you guys felt in this series?
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
I can do this all day.
I'm still standing.
I could do this all day.
Hear me!
I'm still standing.
We are still here!
Yeah. That's the way it kind of feels. It's like, wow, we're still here. Can't believe we're still here. All right. All right. Panarin need time to make his plays. Unfortunately, in the playoffs, no one gives you time. And hope you'll find a way in Game 7. Barabbas, you're right about that one. David Wood. Jacob Trouba was making $8 million a year because they were a bad team. Also because of the contract. There were a lot of big contracts going around at that time. Like when Pedro signed with the Mets over everyone else. First one always gets paid. Yes. New York will win over Carolina. Igor's the Starkin Wall. Oh, Igor has been great in this series. That is 100%. And you know something? All you got to do is figure out a way to get to 3 goals. That's it. I know it's easier said than done. Nobody scored 3. I believe the entire playoffs in Carolina. So you get the 3 goals. That's it. Even a 1, again, that back check in Game 1 is costly. I wasn't mad about them before it. I'm still not mad because there's still ways to correct it. But these are the lessons you have to learn to win in the playoffs. Mr. Fantastic. Hate to have to say something is due, but Carolina is due to lose at home. Whoever scores first will win Game 7. First goal in the series, by the way, 5-1. I agree with you 100%. It was amazing. First goal in the series what was it? It was the first round. It was 3-4. And in 2 of those games were comebacks. All right. Jury has to try to get rid of Trouba in some way, somehow. He will be fine. We have a big kid that could take his place, Matthew Robertson. I would love for that to happen, be his full no trade clause till 2024. So he'll be there. Mattress Mark, I think people undervalue home ice and having the last move. Yep. Actually, a friend of mine didn't even know that happens. That home ice gets the last change. But the way, like take for instance, the 90s Devils used to get around that was It happened all the time, especially with Claude Lemieux, who would shadow Cam Neely. But it would be, well, you're on the ice. They put on their guys. You get off. That was it. So, Frank, I think you speak for all of us when you say that. Big Daddy, interesting to me that people are in the poll are saying Igor will have to step up, but to me, I see him as not playing to his full potential, so I voted for Panarin. All right. Well, you know what? I'm actually trying to think about any bad goals Igor has in the series. Not often can you ever say that. Well, all right, the Niederreiter goal. There you go. That was not a good one. You know what, Mikey? You're right about that. I should have put that one in. I mean, I worked last night. I my head hit the pillow at about 5:45, and I needed to get some sleep. I woke up about 1:30 because I know I had to do this, and it pains me that I don't have either Phil, Pete, or Anthony in on this to help me out. But I still got you guys, so don't worry about that. All right. We missed the open net. The open net from already winning the series. I don't kill Kako on that. I kill the back check more because I still wonder. This is the way I look at it. And by the way, everybody's right about this. I mean, when you really think about it, yeah. But Kako was, I think he just sort of got there and there was a stick on him and there was a bang bang play. Miller pressing Seth Jarvis at the blue line, allowing Aho to get down low. That's the wrong move. It's the wrong move. Back off. You let him get in. Like, they never even had to pull their goalie. I agree with 3+ goals is the magic number. Sesti isn't giving up more than 2. Yep. I mean, he's above Henrik Lundqvist's goals against in game 7s, but he's only played 1 game. Chance to bring that down. That's all right. And Henrik Lundqvist is one of the best game 7 goals against numbers ever. All right. Yeah, the Rangers can do quick changes, try to get their matchups, but also that requires them to win faceoffs. Yep, that's part of the problem. They have one guy that can really kind of win faceoffs, and that's really about it. And now they got Barclay Goodrow and Tyler Mott to throw out there in key situations just in case if they need to get more faceoff help. Whoever wins the majority of the faceoffs will win game 7. You know, I value faceoffs. I'm not sure if that's going to be correct, though. And here we go. If we win, I think you should have. I think you said we have home ice the next round. Are you sure? Because Tampa had more points than us. Oh, wait a second. I think you're right. I think the only reason why Carolina would have home ice is because they're. Wait, are you sure? I thought the Rangers had more points. I don't have standings at the moment. Regular season standings. 110 versus 110. Rangers had 1 more win. I think Rangers have home ice. Rangers 52, 24, and 6, 110 points. Tampa 51, 23, and 8, 110 points. They both had the same winning percentage. Nope. I think it goes to Tampa if they go to ROW first. Then it's 1. Oh, well, Carolina was going to have home ice anyway, but you know what? I did say that. Not the first time I'm wrong, Mr. Fantastic. Thank you very much. This is why we always appreciate whatever I find out that I'm wrong, especially me, because, yeah, it's awesome to be wrong. Makes me think that I'm still in a relationship, I guess. All right. Great to have Goudreau back, 100%. Barclay Goudreau makes a huge bit of difference. My statistics, Carolina won the division. If they beat them, then we become the highest team. You know what? But that's what I was trying to think about, because the Rangers are the second place team, but Carolina was the division winner. Tampa was third place. All right. You know what? We're going to be talking about this. Thanks everybody in the comments joining in, but By the way, hey Rich, it's been a while since the last time I've seen you. Sorry, all the shows have been all over the place. Tampa was a wild. Tampa was the third seed. Toronto was the 2 seed. The 4th seed, the wild card in that division was the Bruins. Hope we have home ice the next round. Okay, so I was right, but Carolina had 116 points. 116? Yeah, I think it was 116. Anyway, Carolina had one more than Tampa. Rangers have been losing faceoffs for years. We do need a faceoff man, but we don't have one, so just play hard. That's right. Rich, by the way, again, like I said, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. All right. Where's that faceoff man? Mikey, by the way, I think this might be the first time I'm seeing you. So, hey, welcome to the show. All right. Sesti is doing Pink Floyd, The Wall, yet in Goudreau, we will have more confidence. Rangers sweep Tampa. Let's get through Carolina first. They swept. Sorry. I said they'll sweep Tampa. The Rangers swept Tampa in the regular season. But again, I think one of those wins were against Louis Domingue or Brian Elliott. It was Brian Elliott. There we go. I forget where the hell Louis Domingue goes. It's on a different team every other day. All right. You're right. Whoever wins the series gets home ice. Okay, good. I like to be right. By the way, right now, who needs to step up? 52% say Igor Shesterkin, Mika Zibanejad, 12%, 36% for Artemi Panarin. Keep getting that in there right now. And everybody, do not forget always to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications. Because after all, Big Apple Hockey, we're great to watch, especially when you take a dump. All right. Carolina has 6 more points ahead of, there was 116. Good. I remember seeing that a second ago and then didn't get that right. Rangers have home ice if they advance. Thank you, Anthony. By the way, welcome to the show. Mikey BX, Rangers with the 3rd in the division. We'll look at the leagues. All right, we're kind of we're kind of hitting all that. The Rangers have the better head-to-head. They also had one less ROW. I forget where it is. Oh, okay. D'Angelo's the best. Negated that Miller penalty. Wow, perhaps the best move for Gorton is in hindsight. Yeah. Well, I mean, I one of our first shows, I talk about this all the time, that me and Phil ever did. I said to him, the Rangers are done with Tony DeAngelo. They're done with his antics. They tried to give him a chance. They gave him a 1-year prove-it contract. It took all of one game to realize they don't want him anymore. And then came the punch. The guy just couldn't get out of his own way. And hopefully, you know what? The thing is, in Carolina, he plays calm. That's what I hate about this. Carolina is playing calm. Somebody's going to pay that guy. Somebody's going to pay DeAngelo. And thanks, Craig. Let's worry about winning Game 7 before who has home ice. It's been so long since we can win a faceoff. I remember when they traded for Stahl. I thought he could win faceoffs, some faceoffs, and it was a win. Yeah. If the Rangers miraculously beat Carolina and Tampa, please call Lou. Yeah, D'Angelo plays too much with his emotions on his sleeve, and sometimes he's like Brad Pitt in Seven, where it's like I thrive on my emotions. Oh, okay, and then he does something really stupid. So. Mika and Mac were Gordon's best trades. I'm trying to think of the Mac you're referring to on that one, B-Rye. Because I think if you're thinking of the Ryan McDonough trade, that one was terrible. Nicholas Lundqvist is sorry. Lundqvist is pending, but if you're thinking of the Rick Nash trade, that was Ryan Spooner, Ryan Lindgren, and the draft pick that ended up being traded to go up for Keandre Miller. So controversial. Fox needs to add some size and muscle. He seems to be getting hammered on the forecheck. He does need to add on some more weight, and he'll probably do that in the offseason. Tampa is a different team in the playoffs. Regular season doesn't mean jack. Yup. Just ask Toronto about regular season and playoffs. Tom, hi. Mott, Rooney, Reeves, Blake, Goudreau, Hunt. What are the bottom 6? Add to the top 6. Mika, Kreider. You know what? I would like Mark Scheifele. I just wonder why you're going to get him, and if he's going to be happy being a second power play guy. Because again, the Rangers are going to have to try to grow with these guys if that's what they're going to do, because they're going to start hitting a salary crunch. I think that's just what's going to happen. Okay. I get why they didn't need ADA, but they handled it wrong, especially now since Georgiev is gone too. Georgiev will be, his rights will be traded. But I mean, you can't get into a fight with your teammate. I mean, and I understand he probably said something like make a fucking save for B-Ryle, correct you in a second on it. I'll tell you about that. Heard Goudreau gave an epic pregame speech. Anyone have insight to that? I don't yet. I haven't gone on Instagram. I haven't gone on Twitter. I haven't done any research. This is all just from my notes today. So, because unfortunately, all I've done in the last few days is work, stream, work, stream. So, Tony D is a distraction and could blow a game at any time. Hopefully, we'll see that this week, especially the fact that he backchecks like he doesn't. So, when did we get Mac for Gomez? That was actually, I believe, the 2010 season, and that was Glenn Sather. I think somebody may have said it could have been it could have been Jeff Gorton, but he wasn't the GM at the time, so I don't want to give him credit for that. We did a breakdown last year after he was let go on maybe some of his moves weren't that great, and I'm not going to get into Neil Pionk and Kevin Hayes for Jacob Trouba, because that's still going on, and that's a move we would still do right now. Still do that. Because Neil Pionk wasn't going to be a better than Adam Fox. So I did like Neil Pionk. I thought he was all right. TDA will get clocked before all said and done. As long as the Rangers have the lead, Kreider wants him. Yep. Kreider definitely needs a premium scoring chance. But again, they've been boxing him out in front. He has not been able to really get free, and he's got a few goals against Carolina. He's got 2 of them. He had the one for number 50. Great for him. But he also had the only game winner in the regular season on the deflection. That was from a little bit further out. So I think Kreider might have to start at least at 5-on-5, start moving a little bit further out to not in the high slot, just the low slot, just off the crease a little bit more. Give himself some more room. I love that Tony completely blew Carolina's chance on the power play. It gave me a good laugh. I agree with that one. That one in the first period. Wow. That's just, what were you trying to do right there? McD for Gomez was Sather. And by the way, there was a lot of people in that trade. Pavel Valentenko was supposed to be a better player than Ryan McDonough, even though he was a first-round draft pick. And then there was Tommy Pyatt. I think he was in that trade too for the Rangers. That's the argument that's Sather that it wasn't a bad trade for McD. I feel like the Rangers should have signed Philip Deneau last offseason. He would have helped with our faceoff issue. Yeah, well, you're right about that. You're right about that. But I think that would have been, that would have given the Rangers the matchup center that they needed. I just don't know. I don't know if I would have paid him that much. That's why I'm hesitant. You're right about that, though. By the way, I'm going to be going till about 4:20 today. So, because unfortunately, I have to get into work a little bit early tonight. It is going to be a crazy night. So, by the way, Mr. Fantastic, I haven't watched it yet. How is Obi-Wan? Because I know you used to have the Star Wars symbol right next to you. All right. Smith broke his hand punching a teammate. Yet, like everyone, Smith is such a good teammate. Yeah, that wait, and that happened last night. Smith broke his hand because then that changes up a couple things. Because if Carolina is down Brendan Smith, they're going to get thin towards the back end. The way the Rangers are going, players will want to come to New York. That is 100%. Well, players going to want to come to New York anyway. I mean, not everybody's Stefan Quintal, who comes and then winds his way out of New York. Tony probably yelled at Fox for not passing on the puck that game. Tony probably yelled at everybody. And for a teammate that everybody said that they liked, and everybody did say that they liked Tony DeAngelo, he could really piss everybody off. And you get if you guys play sports, you always know that guy. Always know that guy. Coyote, I think this is the first time I'm seeing you. Welcome to the show. Nice avatar too. I hope that goal for Panarin gets him going. He's been horrible. That is correct. Whoa, wait, it was $6 million. I thought he was making 4. No, the Rangers only offered like 4. It's $5 million. I thought it was $5 million. Wow, $6 million. Yeah, no, thank you. He's not going to do that. Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 voices. Chris Kreider, the player of 1,000 tip-ins. He's due. Yeah, but the one thing they got to do is he's got to get to the slot, and they got to get the puck there. And Carolina's been blocking a lot. 5 p.m. confirmed. I wish, Pops. I got a lot. I had a lot to do. I'd rather be doing this all day with you guys than up and going up to work. But unfortunately, I got to stop by, see a friend, support another bar that's over by me, and I got a long night. I don't think I'm getting to sleep till 6 o'clock. Hopefully, that's with seeing another episode of Barry. All right. Dano be on the third line? Would be on the third line, though? Or would he be? Nah, I think he would be on the third. I don't know. He would be on the third line or not, depending on Filipino. And I'd be right. Maybe I'm misremembering, but didn't Gorton urge? Maybe he did. But we'll see about that. What's really more to know is his trade to get rid of McDonough has not worked out in any way. Nils Lundqvist has, I almost called him Nicholas Lundqvist. Well, was it Justin Lundqvist? Nils Lundqvist is the only piece that's left, and Libor Hayek has been a disaster. Brett Howden was meh. So what is that? What is that real? And the first round draft pick is what they got for that. And Vlad Domestikov, everybody could look at that Vlad Domestikov and gone, nah, he's not going to be that great, even though he did play very well on that. All right, to a couple more. Thought to know, want to know part of New York. Well, they were negotiating with him. It was probably just to get the money up on LA. Obi-Wan was good, not great. I had some issues with it, but Ewan was great and has a lot of potential. I hope that's the case. Book of Boba Fett was a little bit okay, and a backdoor Mandalorian season 3 bit, but I Pops still negotiating. I just want to see a good series. Just if it's anything like Jedi Fallen Order, I'll tell you that was a really good story. So, well, I have no problem seeing the Second Sister or whatever they're called in this. Hopefully the same thing, because I do believe they're called the same thing. No, Smith broke his hand punching Vinny a few years ago. Okay, thank you. See, this is what happens when I don't get to do all my research before the game. Tony D has worked his way off every team he's ever played on. Yes. And actually, he's working his way off Rich on this one because they're going to have to pay him. 456 confirmed. Bring back JT Miller. Way better than Ryan Strome. Well, you're right about that. I'm still not believing JT Miller might not be the option. Cap Friendly says 5.5 for Dano. Battery is dying. This is great. Frankie, thank you very much. Always great having you guys. And, I got to respond to a text message real quick because I got a friend of mine that got a 11 a.m. tea time on Bethpage Black. I need to make sure he knows I am in. Hopefully, I won't be totally terrible. Oh, nice. I got a message of encouragement from Mr. John Volkowski, who says, "Good job, Mark. Keep up the good work. Was watching for a few minutes." So, yeah. I mean, when I think about guys that could really just do these streams well, Anthony and Phil are amazing at it. So hopefully there'll be more on that. Pops, I love Barry. Not just because it taps into the former actor that I was trying to be, but just Bill Hader is so great. And now that you're starting to see really his darker side, he's even better. And Henry Winkler is amazing. It's just, and it's a great cast. All right. We got a not signed Nemeth and Goudreau and basically paid for Deneau. Yeah, but Goudreau is a better player, I think, than Deneau. I'm going to be controversial on that. Even though Deneau, you're looking at a guy that could win a Selkie at some point. Stay safe, everybody. Keep bleeding blue. Let's go Rangers. Thank you, Frank T. Henriksen was part of the deal for. Okay, so that was in. So I thought Henriksen was a second round pick that the Rangers took. But that was a guy that they identified. And if I recall from Stepboy Steven, he's still maybe another year away. So that's fair. It wasn't a good trade. Hopefully Nils gets an opportunity. I just don't. I'm starting to wonder where Nils Lundqvist is going to fit with the New York Rangers. It's fair to ask that question. I like Nils. I think he's going to be a good player. It might not be that. I think D'Angelo's antics have cost him money. Too much of a wild card. Well, who's going to invest 5 years in him? He might get a 4-year deal from somewhere. I would not be surprised. I threw this out there a while ago, talking to Pete Mackin, our Carolina contributor, and also my friend for the last 30 years. But Anaheim could be a destination for him. Edmonton. I don't want to say Vancouver because they already have Quinn Hughes and Oliver Ekman-Larsson. How many more offensive defensemen do you think they can get in there? Back to Fantastic. Yeah, better Book of Boba Fett for sure. You know what's funny? They talk about really fleshing out good female characters, and then they sideline Ming-Na's character in Boba Fett for 2 episodes. And Boba Fett, for that matter. It's called the Book of Boba Fett. Make it about Boba Fett. And by the way, at least those were at least better than Hawkeye, and I mean Loki was okay. I'm not really all that big on Loki. Stopped watching Star Wars stuff after they fire after. Oh, okay. All right, you're saying when they fired Gina Carano because they didn't do anything with her character and she's gone, and I hate that too. Yeah, there's still time to right that wrong. They can always get her back, but you know what? Cancel culture and all that stupid stuff. What do the Rangers ever give her to JT Miller? He wasn't he 23 or 24 at the time? I think it was like 25. But the real thing about JT Miller I always looked at was I had my doubts on JT Miller too. And let's be honest about something. He was on a loaded Tampa Bay team. He produced when he initially went over there, but he didn't produce the second season. They moved him to Toronto. He has clicked in Toronto, and not Toronto. Oh, wow. There's your Justin for the day. They moved him to Vancouver. He goes to Vancouver, and he was electric in Vancouver with them. And, he has really flourished under Bruce Boudreau. Bruce Boudreau saves careers. I'll be more than happy if he's successful elsewhere. I just don't think he was going to do that in New York. A lot of people said that he didn't have the maturity to do it in New York, that he wanted to go golfing every single day. He was always at speaking about Bethpage Black, he was always there. So that's another one. That's something I heard. Can't confirm, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Where was I? Oh, wait, by the way, let's check that poll. Wow, Artemi Panarin needs to step up 44%. So we got that going. If Strome's goal from Game 5 counted, he would have felt a lot better about his efforts. Yes. but it was offsides. And you know what? I got to say one thing about Ryan Strome on that matter. One reason why he scored that goal was because Antti Ranta thought he was going to pass, and Strome just turned around and dunked it right through his legs. That's a good play. That's a veteran play. Just throw it at the net, get it. It's a goal. It's good. Now get one that counts. And then, yeah, they didn't want to pay JT. They definitely didn't want it. There's other things that they didn't like about him, though. Got to run. Good show. Thanks, Mr. Statistic. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Mikey, if we make it to the next round, Blaze could be ready and Kako could sit. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities. And again, if I'm Sammy Blais, I want to get back on this team. Why not? Just go ahead and play. Don't do it unless the doctors give you 100%. Because again, you don't want to injure it again or injure it in a different way, and then you're back out there. This one's seed to the doctors. It's an ACL. It's not a hamstring or a groin. It's just something that's there. I mean, Barclay Goodrow played what they reported 4 periods of hockey on a partially broken ankle. So that guy's a warrior. He got a first and a conditional second. That could have been a first, and he was converted into all right. And again, Hendrickson is a prospect that I like. I would love to see him get over here. What are your thoughts on signing Riley Smith as a free agent out of Vegas? Gerard likes him, and he's a player that the Rangers can eat at both ends. I agree with every part of that sentence. The Rangers have too many wings. Maybe he's going to have to take a tremendous pay cut. I think they're going to. I already talked about the Rangers not being able to afford Frank Vetrano next year. Because remember, they're going to re-sign Kakko. I don't think Kakko's getting a huge raise. I think he's getting like $2 million or 2.5, maybe 3. But there might be a chance Kakko might find himself traded. And if that's the case, I don't know. You know what? I gotta say this. I thought he would be perfect for the Islanders last year. I just don't know if he's a Lou guy. And that's not a good thing. I think Anaheim might have been good for Tony when they had Getzlaf, but now that everything with their young team without a lot of leadership, and Edmonton already has loose cannon and Kane. I would love to see Kane and Evander Kane and Tony DeAngelo on the same team. Oh my goodness. Already has the makings of a sitcom. And yeah, Rich, Gina Carano, B-Rye, 100%. And the funny thing is, Marvel Netflix didn't put out anything good in seasons. Other than, all 3 seasons of Daredevil were great, and especially the last season. Oh, the last season of Daredevil. But the first season of Jessica Jones, I never watched any of the other seasons. I still kind of want to. I actually liked Luke Cage, but I think I liked Luke Cage more for the guy that played Luke Cage. I forgot his name at the moment. I thought he did pretty good. Iron Fist. If you watch the Defenders, every scene with Iron Fist, you just kind of went, "Is this over yet?" So, bad casting of Princess Leia. Dumb foot chase scenes with her. But overall, 7 out of 10. Okay, this is for Obi-Wan. All right, I'm going to watch that myself at some point this week. God, I hope so. Go on like JT. Make him better. Let's see what Disney does with the Netflix characters. I heard they're going to keep the mature feel. Thought they did a good job with Moon Knight. I heard a lot of things about Moon Knight. I'm going to get to that eventually. Oscar Isaac, great actor. Obviously, Ethan Hawke, but there's a lot of things I want to say with that. Obi-Wan, 7 out of 10 for me. Bad casting and Princess Leia, dumb chase scenes. You will see. Wow. Oh, okay. I was about to say that's the same thing that someone else just wrote, but it was UTP. It's all right. Jerome is the 3rd, 4th liner now. JT is a bargain. Yeah, but you're gonna have to give up. Well, the Rangers got the assets, but I don't think they can fit them under the cap at the moment. Could Samuel Blais be Samuel Blais conditioning could be up to snuff to play buck wild hockey in the playoffs right out of the gate? That's what I'm afraid of. I think it might take a little bit of time for him to get acclimated back again. But it's Sammy Blay. Sammy Blay is for lack of a better way of saying it, Sammy Blay is a fucking gamer. That's the way he is. If Sammy Blay comes back, I would sit Ryan Reeves. They don't have enough any super tough guys, and they need to. I don't think Reeves can catch up with their speed. This is assuming, by the way, I'm guessing if you're playing Tampa Bay, we're going to see about that one. They're not getting JT back. No thanks. It'll be an overpayment, and they don't have the cap space. It's kind of what my feel on that one is, Bry. Jessica Jones was great, especially that first season. Oh, David Tennant chewed up every single scene. And you know what? Kristen Ritter was really good in the first season. And all the stuff that was there. John, I already see that. I agree with you 100%. I'm going to get to yours next. Good afternoon. Great game 6. Hopefully the Rangers remember to pack up their games for this road trip. And you're going to have to leave it all out there. They already won a game 7 at home. Let's see if they can do it on the road. John, you are 100% right. Barenthal, I think, brings it. He's the total package as the Punisher. He's got the troubled past. You can see who he was before. You can see all the different things. I also love Billy Barnes as what's his name? Jigsaw. That was it. Except I still have to finish season 2, and then they took it off of Netflix on that. Punisher and Daredevils 2 and 3. Yeah, that dude playing Iron Fist was awful. He really was. It was bad. I don't remember him being that bad in Game of Thrones. All Daredevil was good. The first season, Jessica Jones in the second half of Iron Fist. And the second season was decent. Power Man and the Defenders wasn't all that. You know, the Defenders was okay, but just every single time, just the Iron Fist was on screen. It just dragged it down. I mean, yes, it got an extra star for Sigourney Weaver and Scott Glenn still being in there and doing the was it called the Resurrection timeline about Elektra? I forgot. I'm trying to remember what it was. Rebirth, I think it was. But which was funny because actually I just saw an evening with Frank Miller that featured the Frank Miller documentary. That guy could write. And the guy that was sitting behind me, Todd McFarlane. So that was awesome. And I wanted to talk to him about Spider-Man, but I couldn't. Would love to ask him what his thoughts on the Venom movie was. We've seen that backhand from Beetle before. It could be a weapon. Yep. Great thing about a backhand is you're never looking at the shooter's eyes. So it can literally, you could surprise a goalie like that. If the Rangers beat Carolina, I think they're going to be the only team that can take out the Lightning. I came down to take it. I take Rangers at 6. Yeah. And there's the bots. Yep, there it goes again. Okay. Jessica Jones was great. The problem I saw with the problem with Barenthal is I saw The Walking Dead and he just seemed like Shane all over. Yeah, I could see that. I could see what you're saying with that. I liked John Barenthal as an actor anyway, but it's just sorry, Bernthal. I always add an extra E on there for some reason. But for sure. And he's block user. Love it how an error keeps appearing. Anyway, but I thought he did a great job in The Punisher. And his moment in The Walking Dead was really when he turned heel. When he ends up shooting the guy in season 2. That's when when he shaved his head, that episode, that's when you really started to see the actual growth in this character. But you know what? We're gonna say that in a second. I'm gonna highlight that in a minute, Mikey. But Electra was smoking hot, big fan. I hope Disney addresses her. And Bullseye was great too. That guy was great. But Elodie Young, she was both perfect for the part and very, very much nice to look at. So back to Rick. If, and that's a big if, the Rangers get past the Canes and face Vazzy in goal. Vazzy in the playoffs is a different animal than the regular season. You know what? That's the matchup I really want to see. And I already have the way I'm going to write the article for the playoff preview. But I am dying to see Vasilevsky versus Shesterkin. And even though the high-end talent is all over the place on Tampa, it's just right there. Okay, let's get back to this. Mikey NYR, by the way, hey again. We need to talk more about the keyword research and stuff like that. We need a Kako to catch some of Heedle's confidence, and the kid line will be a matchup nightmare. You're right. Now, I did read kid line. I know it was autocorrected. Mikey, yeah. R.I.P. Ray Liotta. And Ray Liotta, solid career as an actor. But possibly his best moments ever in acting was when he wasn't acting. Because the famous, what do you think? I'm funny? You think I'm funny like a clown? Go back and watch that scene, YouTube it right now. And there is absolute terror in his face because Pesci just improv it. And he's going, I just thought you were funny. And it's so well done. And especially that Pesci then has the line at the end of, oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what, Mikey, I'll read that for you right now. I'll just skip ahead to this one and then go back to yours, Big Daddy. But Ray Liotta, he was a good fella. I don't think the Lightning have forced a team. Let's read that one again. I don't think the Lightning have faced a team with goaltending near the level of Vazzy in any of the previous series, but I think Shesterkin would change that. That is correct. Jack Campbell is nowhere near what Igor Shesterkin is, and Sergei Bobrovsky was when he was with Columbus. I have no idea who signed with the Panthers. It wasn't the two-time Vezina Trophy winner. Should only been one time because I still maintain Henrik Lundqvist should have won in 2013. I mean, the guy led the league in wins with 24 wins in a 48-game season. What more do you need him to do? All right. Kako was doing the dirty work, playing well. He just needs to get his shot off a little bit more. You know, sometimes guys get in those situations that it's the stuff that doesn't get recognized. And where people were saying to me, just in general, because I have lots of conversations being a bartender, but it's, oh, Kreider needs to do something. That's not his game. His game isn't to carry the puck. His game isn't to go and just impose his will. I mean, if he's got the puck, it's a different story. There are times where he's skated end to end. I've seen him, but that's not his game. His game is to defend. His game is to screen. His game is to deflect. His game is to rebound. And you're going to see it on the video I'm going to be putting up there in the summer about this. The big change in Chris Kreider this season, he is not in love with that wrist shot anymore. And because of that, he is getting to the dirty areas and he is getting inside the house, as it said. And it'll be big. Rangers haven't faced a serious goalie either. Yes. I mean, Antti Ranta's played great. Antti Ranta, one of the ways to kind of say this is Antti Ranta sort of played like Dustin Tokarski did in 2014 at the Eastern Conference Finals, where nobody expected anything of him, and he was phenomenal. And they never really forced the issue on him. If the Rangers win tomorrow, I don't see Tony D getting a big contract he was envisioning after the Boston series. Yep. But you know what? Someone's going to pay him because there's teams with cap space and idiots. Like, I'm trying to find the team that is going to look for him. I don't think Dallas. I definitely don't think Detroit. Detroit is not going to take a run at him. Ottawa's got Thomas Chabot. You start running down a lot of these things, and you wonder where does he fit? Okay. Is the Stahl line shutting down the Kreider line that well, or is Panarin just playing well below par? The answer on all that is yes, all of it. Panarin is getting stifled. Panarin can do some things. He's a superstar. Superstars play well against other superstars. Sebastian Aho is a great defender, and so is I think Teravainen is a pretty good one. Seth Jarvis is playing pretty good defense. But then you look at that Stahl line. You got Jesper Fast, great defensive forward. Jordan Stahl, great defensive forward, and Nino Niederreiter, pretty good defensive forward. It's that's the matchups. That's what you have to do. And again, I go back to my matchup for this series: the Kid line versus the Trocheck line, because the Trocheck line hadn't done a damn thing up until game 5. Trocheck ends up cashing a goal, or actually game 4. Teravainen ended up scoring. So I think I put Teravainen on that line. Svechnikov is on the Aho line. All right, so that's my mistake. But yes, that's why I always say the other guys get paid too. By the way, did anybody watch the ESPN pregame? Did they have to shove this? This was the ESPN pregame. Hi, Emily Kaplan. How's it going? Like, do they have directors? Hey, Bill, I think we need to back up just a little bit. Yeah, we can actually see her thoughts. That's how close that camera shot is. Okay. No, we're gonna. All right, now turn your lights all the way up to the level of the sun and shove it right in her face. Like, this is what I talk about when ESPN is ruining hockey. Because even when they have just it's Madison Square Garden. You can't find a well lit area. Just back up a little bit and maybe not shine. Like, seriously, it's almost like they're doing this. Now I got to fix the damn lights. All right. So, all right, the entire Tampa Bay team is bought into making their legacy their dynasty. And it's really dangerous. Yes, that is right. Because it's dangerous. It is. Even the newcomers understand this. But again, the Rangers are looking at Tampa Bay. Well, they will be looking at Tampa. Hopefully they will. I don't know, but let's just say they win this round. The Rangers want to be Tampa Bay. They got all the makings. They got all the signings. Everything could all be there. And you got high draft picks in Tampa. Kucherov. Well, Braden Point was a 3rd rounder, but Stamkos and Hedman. That's what you want to be. You want to be them. Everybody wants to be them. Rick, actually, you're right on this one. I mean, game 4, Campbell was horrible, but other than that, he was really good in that series. So I've been hard on Jack Campbell since, and I'll say middle of February. I've been really hard on Jack Campbell, and I just wonder if he's an NHL like quality starter, if he could start 50 games and such. But he played great. Games 5, 6, and 7. He was excellent. Can't take that away from the kid. Kreider is the guy who retrieves the puck at the corners and gets to the playmakers, then goes to the net. Kakko does that too. That's why Kakko on that line didn't work. Yeah, David. Thank you. And it takes a guy to get there. CK is no longer a one-trick pony, and he's a monster in front of the net. Mikey, that's right on that one. You guys will see it when I break down the video. Oh my God, Mikey, I just read your next comment and I can't wait to get to it. Watching games on TSN is so much better than ESPN. No big pharma commercials. Yeah. Every other commercial is about an antidepressant. It's like, yeah, I get it. I'm a Ranger fan. I don't need an antidepressant. Mikey, please. There are a few things in life I want to see happen more than Tony DeAngelo be a Flyer and his defensive partner to be Rasmus Ristolainen. Oh my God. Oh my God. Carter Hart will shoot himself. All right. I think Kako's been solid. Kreider has been invisible in this series. I'm sorry, Mark. He did play well against Pittsburgh. No, you don't have to apologize to me, but I mean, I am the president of the Chris Kreider fan club, but he's, well, he does have to pick it up. He's being defended well, but doesn't mean anything. I can see Tony on a team like the Flames or the Kings, and the Flames might be able to handle him. Kings could be there too. They're in conversations for Jacob Chikrin. Tony DeAngelo might be the second option after Jacob Chikrin. So that is right there. David, you were right. Jacob Slavin is one of the best defensemen in the league. And if there's a Rod Langway award for the best defensive defenseman, don't be surprised if Jacob Slavin won it. For the Rangers to win tomorrow night's game, they'll have to score first and make the Canes open up a little bit. That's exactly what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to open up the game because the Rangers are okay doing it at home. They've been struggling doing that in Carolina. In my opinion, Waffer Zib have been the best forwards of the series. I'd say Zibanejad. And Lafreniere has done so much work. It just right there. ESPN sucks. I like Ray Ferraro, the guy calling the game, never shuts the hell up. Yeah. ESPN is bad. Sean McDonough is terrible. 2 hours of chicken parm gushing over Carolina. Well, he also gushes over the Rangers too. I like chicken parm. So let's get to Pops again. Didn't you see when they interviewed Brendan Moore after pulling Ronta when Ronta was sitting right in front of him? Holy awkward. Yeah. You know what? But I think it was even, I got to say, Pop's 100% right on that one. Like, that's just something that they're there. Like, back when they used to do in between the benches and in Pittsburgh Civic Arena, there was no box for them to do that in. So what happened was Pierre McGuire would be on the Pittsburgh bench to criticize players. Like, it's weird. It was weird. Where's Evander Kane going to end up? That's a great question. He should re-sign with Connor McDavid and just collect paychecks because where's there a better situation? I wonder who's going to go after him. That's the thing. And Evander Kane is always on his best behavior in season one with a new team. He gets a new contract and then he reverts back to being Evander Kane. I did enjoy the sad Ronta shots ESPN gave us. Someone has to make memes out of them. I wish I got to see more of them. Donnell, hey, again. Who are you picking in the Western Conference Finals? Avalanche over the Oilers. Avalanche in 6. Avalanche in 6. We'll go with that. And I'm giving Edmonton a lot more credit, but I wonder how much more Mike Smith can keep this up. Mike Smith is playing fantastic, but it is just not happening. I'm going to try to get through all your comments, guys. I know there's 37 of you watching right now. Once again, just want to give everybody a reminder to hide current comments, like, share, and subscribe. And also, don't forget to smash it a like. All right. Artemi Panarin is now taking the lead on the player that needs to step up the most tomorrow night. I think you guys are correct on that. So there we go. I got to go with the Avalanche. And I'll say 6. What's up, Ranger fans? Hey, Patrick, by the way. How you doing? I only like Kenny Albert. Everyone else is blah, blah, blah. You know what? Brendan Burke's a real good one, too. Butcher Gross is fine for ESPN. But it's Kenny Albert's the Swiss Army knife of sports broadcasters. I can't say that enough. The guy can call a baseball game, a football game, a hockey game, and a basketball game in 4 different days. Like, that's how good of a guy, just announcer he is. Terrible camera angles and unnecessary in-game interviews. Yes, ESPN just like, what are they doing? Mikey, then like I said, the Avalanche. And I want Henrik on the color commentary. Yeah, Henrik does great with the color commentary. And man, that guy can wear a suit. Like, share, and subscribe. By the way, thank you for the coaching as always, Mike. And it's it's always great to do these things. So when is Chelios going to comb his hair? Never, absolutely never. And I'm glad that they had Mess back in last night. He said the Rangers are going to win it in 6. I think he said. He's like, I'm picking him tonight. Like, all right, well, the Rangers got to win it in 7. So I actually, going back to you, Donnell, if the Oilers upset the Avalanche, the best team all season, it'll be the biggest upset since then. Yes. That's the biggest upset in NHL Stanley Cup history. No matter, I think it blows away LA beating the, was it the 82 Edmonton Oilers? I think it was 82 Edmonton Oilers that they were up 5-0 on LA in game 3. And the series tied at 1 in LA and LA Forum. That's the one where you first get the Darrell Evans goal where he just says, do you believe it? Do you believe it? I see it and I still don't believe it. But that's where Gary Thorne took the inspiration that he used on the Messier goal. ESPN does great coverage on dominoes and cornhole, though. Yeah. I can't believe that Draisaitl tied him in the playoffs. Yeah, I understand that Draisaitl tied with them in playoffs. McDavid's been the better player. It's just that McDavid's been the better player. Hope the Stanley Cup Finals are on ABC, or not all the finals are on ESPN or TNT. Don't see the NBA Finals on TNT. Well, TNT is going to get next year's Stanley Cup Finals. I do know that, and that's what's gonna try to I wasn't getting that. The blonde chick is Emily Kaplan. If that's who you're referring to, she's usually pretty good with some of her interviews. I don't see that she's dismissive, but now you got me wanting to watch them all over again, Patrick. So I'll be definitely taking a look on that. Hello, Dominic. Hey, Flyers, you can have Nemeth for a first in 2023. Come on and get it. Why not? You traded for Rasmus Ristolainen. My goodness. Rasmus Ristolainen. Messier has been a consistent Rangers homer with all the anti-ESPN voices is much needed, which is what's funny because, I mean, Weeksy was a New York Ranger. He loved his time here. Ryan Callahan was a former captain. I mean, Tortorella, former coach. So, RC 81 maybe. Philly should totally get Tony and Nemeth as a dream first pairing. Okay, thank you. It was 82. It was 82. All right. Don't you just know it? I think, by the way, that's a great name. Oh, I love that name. On the radio broadcast, Dave Maloney tore into Kreider for weak defense. I think it was on Carolina's first goal. I would love to see that and hear it. It's anybody whose opinion I respect is Dave Maloney, who always does a great job. Youngest captain in New York Rangers history, Dave Maloney. ESPN was pushing hard for Anderson to replace Ronta. Why? Go ahead. Throw him in there. Absolutely throw him in there. There's so much Ranger slander on social media. I hate the it moved on me in a second, guys. I love the hate, though it makes them watching them win so much better. Yep. Donnell, I'm not going to confirm or deny. I'm just going to look into the camera and see if you can understand what my thoughts are. But yeah, you're right. But still, just when she says bye when she's done, I know players just want to get the hell out of there, but there's a vibe. Yeah, but she also does like she says bye in their native tongue, whoever it is. Which I guess if it was Nick Fatillo from Staten Island would be, get the fuck out of here. So, do you think Mika gets enough credit? Fans wanted him to put assists. Or sorry, wanted him plus assets for Eichel, but best center since Mess. I think that's 100% right. He's the best center since Messier that the Rangers have had. But it's just, I don't. I think he gets the amount of credit he deserves. He's a damn good player. He's just weak on faceoffs. He's pretty good defensively. He's not excellent. So that's the way to say that. I think he gets exactly the credit he deserves. Emily Kaplan had a camera angle the other night where she was interviewing Cobb, and I think I saw her play up here. Hey, Alex, how you doing? Fins up. That was weird. So anyway, even though I watch local hockey in the tri-state area, Rangers, Islanders, Devils, I think I see that they don't talk much hockey on the radio if and either of the three teams are in the playoffs. Yeah. Well, certainly not the Devils. Certainly not the Devils. But anyway, it's funny. It's funny. It wasn't like that, like game 5. I noticed that Mika's numbers. How are they this good? Yeah, he had 10 points in the Pittsburgh series, but that's really what makes it. But if the Rangers were smart, they would trade Kreider and get a stud back, the back end, get a top 2 defenseman, because Kreider will never touch 50 goals again. I'm not certain about that, but I think that he could. So, yeah. So, hopefully that. But yeah. Well, I was hoping at least the Let's Go Dolphins when I went down there. And then they did fins up. I'm like, this is it. This is what our chances are. God, Mika could win a face-off, yeah. And all Rangers center need to go to face-off camp. Yep. Finn's gonna get 2 of the ball out this season. I hope so. I hope so. No, I never wish anybody to not succeed. Go ahead, succeed in your own way. There's only one group of guys that I actually rooted against, and it was the Ball brothers, because I could not stand their father. Although, again, I mean, Lonzo made fun of him at times, so that was kind of funny. But Don Weaver, that's just hockey everywhere. No love, man. No love for us for hockey fans. Yeah, because we're considered a niche sport, and that the other ones are better. But you know something? Yeah. Unfortunately, by the way, Kreider is definitely going to be a New York Ranger until 2024, at least, when his no trade clause kicks in. Brennan Othman looks like he might be Chris Kreider, his replacement. And that's the way it looks. Toss some wingers in there for good measure. Yeah. Biz is no longer welcome in Ranger country. Yep. I just wonder about his Canes in 5 pick now. Make a third in scoring. I still want to see him get the captain, quiet leadership like Leach. Yeah, but Leach even said he was miscast as the captain. Like that just didn't really fit on him. And the circumstances and how he got it was not right. Loff is getting mean. If he actually gets strong, he's a special player. Loff is the best of Lofford years coming along. Kreider has got a team-friendly contract, and Kreider is the leader of the team. You guys are both right on that one. And Kreider does so much right. And let's not forget, he's all the Rangers playoff experience as far as people on the Rangers. He's only been with the Rangers. He's been with the Rangers through 3 conference finals runs and a Stanley Cup finals run. So it's just like that. Oh, we do cheer Let's Go Dolphins. Okay, because I was there once and I don't remember hearing it. I mean, by the way, Alex, I do know the song. I love that song. That's great. Miami has the Dolphins, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. You know what, by the way, that's a series that both I want and don't want at all, especially being a bartender. Oh dear God. The last thing I want is a Subway series again. Leach was a good captain, but even at that, he felt the weight of the sea on there. He had some great seasons as captain, but it just still never fit him. I see Kako improving in this aspect. He handles and holds on to the puck almost better than anyone on the team. And could his decision making improve? Of course. Of course, the decision making improves. Could his shot improve? Of course, that could improve. I can list all the things that Kako needs to improve on, but he's starting to really look like a bull when he gets the puck. And yeah. Yeah. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. You're going to make me want to be like really get back into football again. And thank you about that. Because my fandom's been waning for years for a lot of reasons. Why I didn't mind going with my ex fiance to Home Goods is like, oh, it's Sunday. Do you want to watch football? No, I'll go with you to Home Goods. I'm tired of football now. I think they should name Kreider captain, but not trade him ever. And then after that, it should be Fox or Loff when they get older. We'll see about that. Andy, hi, I think this is the first time I've seen you. Welcome to the show. Give up Chris Kreider. You give up a lot of speed and important toughness. Yeah, and again, he's a guy that plays without the puck. That's what all the problem is. Fox or Loff for captain. Yes, they play it every time. Nick, how you doing today? Yeah, but Kreider's value right now is at an all-time high. Can you imagine what you could get for him? Yeah, but he doesn't want to leave. I'll tell you that right now. He doesn't want to leave. Like, sort of like in Rick, I'll get to yours in a second. Sort of like David Wright in 2015. David Wright did everything to get back on the field. And even David Wright wanted to be on the 2016 team, and just his body was not letting him. And when you're languishing on a team that's bad and then suddenly they're good, you don't want to leave. Like Ryan McDonough left at the perfect time because they were going to be bad. They were going to rebuild. They knew they had to resign him, and they dealt him. So I'll say to Chris Kreider, I gave up on the NHL. Yeah, I gave up on the NFL too, but you know what? I'll see about that. See, also one problem I do have to admit is my job makes it hard for me to love the NFL. I work as a bartender on Sundays. It's very hard, and I work Saturday nights, so I barely get to see the afternoon games, and I want to see a player I can gravitate to again, like a player that I can really like. And I gotta remember the kid's name. It was a rookie last season with the Dolphins, rookie safety. He was great. But Zach Thomas was always one of my favorite players. Eli Manning was always one of my favorite players. Yes, I know I named the Giants. I live in New York. My brothers were all Giant fans. I'm the freak of the family that decided, hey, I'm going to be a Dolphins fan. And I tell this story all the time. I said I'm a Dolphins fan. And then the next day, Dan Marino ruptured his Achilles tendon after I bought a Dan Marino jersey. I have no luck. So, guys, I'm going about 5 more minutes right now. You guys have all been great. You bet I miss Dan Marino and Bob Greasy? Fortunately, I never got to see Greasy. So I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. However, I do have to say this. I do miss Dan Marino. That guy, he pulled off miracles. He was the best quarterback in the fourth quarter. And he won, I believe it was 35 games tied, or it might have been 40, tied or trailing in the fourth quarter. And think about all the times that he came up short. And that's happened. Alex, I had season tickets. I moved to Vegas. My buddy's a diehard Rangers fan, and he was screaming for replays to be taken away. Yeah. But yeah, diehard Met fan as well. Yeah. What do I think the final score tomorrow night's going to be? I'm saying you killed me on that one, Big Daddy. 3-2 for the Fugazis. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go Rangers. I'm going to go Rangers. I think they get the first goal. Javon Holland, thank you. That kid looks great. Please be a good person off the field too. That really will help. Like, I mean, think of how great it was being a Dolphin fan in the late 90s. Got Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor. I'm a Finn fan, yeah. But I look more to the past with them. Don't get me wrong. I want the Giants to be good too. Probably a fan who saw Marino punk out the Jets. Yeah, I got my ass beat in high school the day of the fake spike. It was a couple of my friends. We worked in a stockroom in Sears. I was laughing at it. I'll go, oh, and they all ganged up and they threw me in a refrigerator box and just kind of beat up the box. But no, those guys are still great. We're still friends right now. This is probably this season is probably better, and next season's thanks to the cap restricts and bad contracts and buyouts. But again, I think that's what's going to be an issue. It's going to be, can Filipino make the next jump? Can they find a third line center that they don't have to break the bank on? There are a lot of these things. Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. I remember when Patrick Surtain said that's the way they pronounce his name 5 years in, and Joe Theismann kept on calling him, calling Sam Madison Sam Madison just to be a dick. All right. All right. I hope that makes you happy in a good way. All right. Goudreau gets a star of the game. What an injection of life. Yeah, guys, can't say enough for Barclay Goudreau's contributions in last night's game. And you know what? More to come. It's more to come. And I didn't see if the NHL put up when game 1 is going to be. They only have game 1 and game 2 of the Colorado series. That's Tuesday, and I think June 1st is June 2nd. Tuesday starts the Colorado series, so I guess Wednesday will start, or Thursday will start the yeah, okay. It was that'll be Wednesday. It's June 1st. Wow, we're already into June. Already into June. Goudreau's been a hell of a player. I want to kiss you. Before you go, can you? No. I am not calling Lou. John D. Lee, man. Oh, missed you on this thing. Goudreau line was the best line, even if they don't get points. Carolina can get out. I'll tell you what, if you guys go back to our series preview, you're going to hear Pete Mackin bring up it's the one matchup that really worries him if Barclay Goudreau gets back in the lineup, because there's not really that element of physicality. So look for that Goudreau line to be incredibly effective. And I'm going to call it right now. They get another goal. It will be Barclay Goudreau in game 7. So, I know. Don't worry about it. There are things that'll never die. We're probably going to make a, hey, Marc, call Lou back t-shirt. We got to make some of those. All right, guys, unfortunately I really do have to run because there's so much to do and I have a lot of stuff. We are going to have sponsors coming to the show soon enough. I didn't even do a ticker at all. Duh. Nice way to promote your website. But there will be an article coming up this week on BigAppleHockey.com. Or sorry, Big Apple Hockey Podcast, not the other one. That's not our site. BigAppleHockeyPodcast.com, because hopefully it'll be the Rangers versus Tampa, and we'll be able to figure that one out. Oh, nice. I actually told my brother that I was going to. My brother lives down in Naples, and he could try to get us tickets, and I might try to go. If it's the first, it'll be the first, the third. The hard part is I'd have to fly down and then have to get back here by Thursday morning. So Justin will never die. And you know what? Turn it to the skid and just enjoy it. I actually can't wait for the official logo we got to be finalized so we can start making up hockey jerseys for Big Apple Hockey. Has Rooney played his last game for the Blue? I don't think so. I think there's definitely mutual interest, and also that he might get his way back in the lineup. Talk to you later, KD. Have a good one. Let's go Rangers. So Absolutely. Send it to the Instagram page. I got to come up with a contact for you guys. So that way you can throw that stuff in there. Mike, once again, thank you for reminding me. I gotta go get dinner after I hit the showers and everything. But yes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Good luck, Ranger fans from Scotland. Andy, thank you very much from all the way across the pond. So I got a friend of mine who is watching Liverpool yesterday in England. So that was great. So what's your opinion about Finland winning versus Canada in the IHF? Expected. If Finland's become a real hockey power, so that's always a good thing. And my Xbox just turned on for some reason. My Twitter handle, you can always find it at Big Apple Hockey. There you go. So, guys, I'm gonna and it figures I'm starting to see a lot more people getting into the chats, but Finland is a hell of a hockey power. I don't want to mispronounce it. Forgive me. Alpu. I hope I got that. But that's great. Canes do need to pick it up. And Lauren, it's been a long road in these playoffs. I think we'll all know where it goes from here. Not one of our teams gets past the Bolts. Well, that's why they play the games. Real Madrid, Euro champs. Yeah, they won yesterday. The IG is also Big Apple Hockey, except there's lowercase. There's underscores. Big underscore Apple Hockey underscore. I think I have it somewhere around here. Oh, well, if you go to Big Apple Hockey Podcast, click on the Instagram. It'll take you right there. All right. So KHL might be dead. All those players need places to play. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of problems with KHL coming up soon. And the world is a changing place. Guys, everybody, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I can't say it enough. I'm hoping there's going to be more Marc drunk recaps because it's always better when I'm doing shots at Jameson on this. But it's and no matter what, we're going to be here on Wednesday, and we're starting to get more weekly shows together with the guys. And can't ask for better partners on this podcast than Anthony and Philk. And even our roster is going to expand more. Like I said, my friend Pete's on there. And if you're ever interested in writing for us, go ahead, send me a message and try to throw some samples down. And because we're looking to cover every single team in the league, that's something we're going to be looking to do. So, guys, thank you very much. Can't say it enough. Let's go Rangers. Game 7 tomorrow night. Can you feel it? I mean, I'm a little bit nervous, but yes. Yeah, I can feel it. It's gonna happen. So just gonna sign off right here. And